Yeah, of course you can't talk about a camera without talking about its accessories, and there are a few accessories that are pretty awesome about this. Fair warning though that right now it's awfully hard to get your hands on a lot of the accessories, so buyer beware when it comes to trying to pick them up. But the first accessory is one that you get with your camera, and I really like it. It's this Insta360 case. And the nice thing about this is it's kind of made out of material that's almost like a scuba diving material. Very soft, and the camera fits in very nice. Now remember, it's got lenses on both sides, so you don't want to set this thing down without it being in the case because you might scratch the lenses, then you've had a bad day. So you slip it in there, it keeps it covered, and what I like about it is it also goes around my neck when I'm out doing stuff like skiing where it's cold and I got to keep this thing next to my heart, around my neck, into my jacket. Works really well. As I pointed out in another chapter, that does have a 1/4-inch thread that you can then add a selfie stick to, and you are going to want a selfie stick if you're going to be operating this camera. It's really quite easy to just screw in, bam, there you go, and it extends out fairly far. I'd give it, 3.5 feet or so, and it disappears in your footage because of the stitching. The selfie stick actually disappears, so it just looks like there's a camera floating out in front of you. It's a really great piece of gear to have. I highly suggest you put this as the bundle when you order your camera. One thing you cannot put on order with your selfie stick, but you're going to want with a selfie stick, is a little tripod. This is a third-party accessory. Check the description below. I might have a link to where you can buy it, but you can get these just about anywhere. It also has a 1/4-inch thread, and it goes along the bottom of the selfie stick. Why would you want this? Well, there's a lot of times where carrying the selfie stick gets to be a little bit tiring, or you want to at least be able to step away from your camera for a bit. So once you've got this thing screwed in, you've got a nice little tripod. You can use this for doing like tours of homes and things like that, taking 360 photos of private events and things like that. So getting a tripod with the selfie stick is definitely something I would highly recommend. And while they're not that easy to get your hands on right now, getting one of these battery chargers is a great thing. It takes up to 2 batteries, and it's really nice. The batteries click in there so they don't just fall out by accident. It takes about an hour to charge a battery. You might blow through the charge in 5 minutes if it's cold, or 45 minutes, but it's nice to have at least one of these, if not 2, so that you can keep lots of batteries on hand, because the batteries just don't last that long. As you probably know, you just plug this little USB into a wall wart. Now, they do not come with this wall wart. It's something you're going to have, but you probably already have one anyway. You plug in the USB, this goes into the wall, now you're charging, now you're up and going. Once you're up and going, you might want to try some of the accessories. They have a snow bundle, a water bundle, all that stuff. I bought the snow bundle, and it's not bad. Let's just break it down. First of all is this chest mount. Now what happens is the camera gets screwed onto here. You can adjust that up and down, and this thing goes around your body. And it's actually pretty decent. The only downside to it, in my opinion, is this is made out of plastic. It should be made out of metal because it's so light that when you get the camera and you put it on here, it has the weight of the camera has a tendency to pull it down. The other thing about the chest mount you got to think about with a 360 camera is it's up against your body. So instead of getting 360 degrees, you're getting, sometimes only 180 degrees in a shot of your chest. So it's not as beneficial as it might for like a GoPro or something like that, but this thing has served me fairly well. You just got to be prepared that it's a little bit on the flimsy side. The snow bundle also comes with the helmet mount, and the fact that this isn't on a helmet should be testimony to exactly how well it works. It does move up and down. You can put your camera on here and screw it in, and it extends out from your helmet. The problem is I don't even use this anymore. Why? Because there's this sticky stuff that comes with it, and I use it, put it on my helmet. Admittedly, it was cold because I was out in the snow doing some skiing, and within about 10 minutes, this thing just popped off and I had nowhere to go with it. Thought, well, maybe it was too cold. I might have applied it in the cold, so let's try it again. Used the last of the little sticky things that they gave me, put it on there, and then brought it back up to the helmet. Used it for about 10 minutes and helmet mount came out, piece of crap. Oh, jeez. And I'll end on a high note for the accessories. The one thing you've got to get yourself is a venture case. Now, this thing is designed to basically make it water resistant. They've been having some problems with that, so there's been some recalls, but I just kind of kept mine because what it does is you put the camera in it and you close it up, and then suddenly now you've got a full-on water resistant, shatter resistant thing that basically if you're going to spend $400 on a camera, you're going to want to get one of these cases. I don't use it all the time, but when I'm out somewhere where I know it might get dinged around, this thing is going to save you a lot of money in the long run. There are buttons on the Venture case so you can still power up and get around. You know, the display without the Venture case is hard to read, but with the Venture case on it, it's even harder to read, so I wouldn't count on it very much. But if you really care about this camera, you gotta get yourself a Venture case. It's probably the most important accessory you're gonna wanna pick up. Now keep in mind these things kind of go in stock and out of stock and in stock and out of stock. So a lot of the accessories that you hope to get your hands on, you might have to be prepared to wait around for a while. If you have a report on that, leave it in the comment section below. But all in all, the accessories aren't half bad. It's an action camera, so you really want to get out there and take advantage of it. Get that Venture case, get that selfie stick, get that tripod, go out there and enjoy yourself.